So, sir, so far it's good, but throw some light on what will be the impact of this BRICS summit on the global arena. But how is it going to affect, or what will be the reactions of the countries globally to this BRICS summit?
Two ways of looking at it. What have been the reactions and what will be the reaction?
Will be the reaction.
What will be the reaction related to actually what happens on the ground, right? These summits on one day saying something, next day the things start changing. They don't. Okay. So one specific thing is that in addition to the 5, 6 who have come, they become effective from 1st January, right? Now, when we say effective, what does it mean? Or maybe some other work will be done. A very practical question comes: how will the common currencies be dealt with? Who will fix the exchange rates, right? And who will fix the exchange rates can be a big question. However, they're not starting from zero. China has done 40 agreements already. And in each one of them, it is done with the Reserve Bank and the Central Bank. They have set up the Central Bank digital currency also, which is accepted elsewhere. India has done agreements with 18 parties, 18 countries that is. Everywhere the watchdog accounts have been opened. We have done major deals with Russia and UAE already.
Right.
So things are being done, no? Why do we need exchange rate, by the way? If I have ruble, rupee, if the quotation is in rupees, the payment is in rupees, where is the question of exchange rate? Where is the question of exchange rate? Second, people forget that some things I am buying, something they will be buying. So what you need to settle, say at the end of the year, is the difference.
Right.
And Russia has given one example that I will buy your bonds. Buying bond means that when I need to cash it, I'll cash it. I'll cash it in rupees and buy your rice.
Agree. Right.
Right. So it is like friendship and it's like neighborly relationships. I'm not settling every day. That, where is my money? Where is my money? So Russia didn't say where is my money. We didn't pay a single rupee to them, or ruble, or dollar, for a whole year last year. So a couple of $1 billion worth of rubles we owe them. We owe a lot of rubles earlier also, from earlier times also. So it's not that difficult as it is made out to be. Those who don't want to support it, they'll say, but your currency is not convertible. Your currency is not convertible. He is willing to accept my rupee at government level, at central bank level, saying rupee is not acceptable. Okay, now let's come to the other thing. So in terms of output, it has not been some earth-shaking, which we not expected also. One is that Mr. Ramaphosa was able to operationalize and energize most of Africa, despite their having problems in Niger and coups and whatnot. 70 heads of nations came there. It's not small. Nobody in Africa would have got 70 heads of nations to attend the conference for anything.
Exactly.
Right? Point number 1, succeeded. There is no mishap there. There's a small thing, Mr. Modi comes out of the plane and he goes back. So some website has written that, when he didn't see Ramaphosa, so he was very annoyed and he was going to go back. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. How do they know that, he came out, went back, maybe for the bathroom or whatever it is. And as if the protocol and Ministry of External Affairs would not have known that Ramaphosa is not coming. Is it possible? No, not possible. So they make out some small nonsensical things like that. If you want to make something nonsensical things about it, they had kept the lapel of the countries on the ground where they were supposed to stand in the preliminary. Mr. Modi comes and picks up that flag and puts it in his pocket. Ramaphosa feels so bad about it, he picks up his own country's flag also, puts it. That picture is gone everywhere.
Right.
See, therefore, reaction to such events tells you that there is a love and affection and respect, right? Not that, he was given an award and Modi was not given an award. No, he had come on a status, Z, that is, right? So this is the only thing which people have been playing upon. But there is a difference of the approach of China and India. China brought 50 companies with themselves. Most of them have gone back with an MOU of business. They are business-oriented people. There was a business forum. You are smart, you should have also brought it in. They will wait because they are risk averse. They are risk averse That is why in India, they have been slow in mutual currency also. After government has done the agreements, they're shaking. Pata nahi kal kya hoga. Okay. So with that, slowly now they will open up because second is that this grouping of 11 itself is a civilizational grouping.
And that we have already
discussed. And the impact of that is that they will behave very differently. There is no colonizer in this and colonizing. Okay? Which is there in the other groupings.
But what about the other countries? How they view it?
Yes. So let's just look at the media first. The two things combined, Chandrayaan and this thing. So media has congratulated practically everywhere.
Exactly.
Okay. Whether they have congratulated BRICS or they have congratulated this, or India is coming home now, king on it and so on. What they have been debating about, for the heck of it also, and maybe seriously, that whether this is an anti-West grouping, to which the answer clearly is in terms of agenda, in terms of outcome document, in terms of they all addressing the press conference afterwards, that it has nothing to do with anti-West or de-dollarization. It is a grouping from day one of developing countries. It is from day one a grouping of global South countries. Because there is a felt need that they are not understood by the other people. Now, it is in this context that BRICS summit has recommended to the UN, and UN Secretary General was there also, that India must be inducted in the Security Council. You can't justify an England there and a France there and somebody there and India not being there. India की जो forces है ना, वो तुम सबको मिला के. Okay, now next one. So therefore this is the debate, anti-West or not. If you want to oppose it, you can say it's anti-West, right? Yes, Western countries seem to have, especially US, tried to dissuade African countries to even come for the summit. Okay? I had informed earlier that Africa summits were done by various countries last year.
Exactly.
Huh? And however, this is unka baap. It has become a super summit.
Summit, right.
It will become super summit. And so now if you can criticize, there was something about the Ukraine war, no resolution has been there, except to say that it will be very happy if peaceful things settle. And West should notice and slap their own faces. That you talk about everything, peace and all that. Here, Ramaphosa along with 6 other countries went there for a peace plan. China gave a peace plan.
Exactly.
And you have not even cared to comment on that. So what are you talking? They are still saying, and if there was something reasonable, Russia pressure you can put, right?
Exactly.
As a BRIC group. So as a BRIC group, we are interested in peace. And so now is these things will slowly knit together. Okay. And in knitting together, there will be further pain which will come to the West. Right? When Saudi Arabia starts accepting money in non-dollars, so the hegemony of the USA on that day will be over.
So this is the end of hegemony, can we say that?
This is the beginning of the end of the hegemony.
Beginning of the end of hegemony.
Okay. The beginning of the end of the hegemony, right?
Okay.
Right. And so this knitting will take place, logistics will get set accordingly, because it is Russia which has to supply to China and Asia and Africa oil or grains. So your logistics have to be accordingly now. Earlier it was going via Turkey. Forget it. So those supply chains, as they keep on saying, there was another thing we wrote. The supply chains will go through a change. Supply chains will go through a change means there will be no new ports, there will be new rail lines, there will be new ABCD. Supply chain का change का मतलब सिर्फ तो ये नहीं होता ना.
Exactly.
अब आपका shifting शुरू हो गया with Argentina and Brazil there and Russia there and India there. Grain surplus is lying there. And then it will shift accordingly. Similarly, Brazil's oil will sell. Venezuela, when it is allowed to join, sanctions are there. It is the largest producer of oil. So the supply chain will change. So around South Africa, South America, around Africa, different kinds of ports will come up. And they will be financed by China. And why should we create? That is what they're saying, India. So China will go and will dominate this, and India will be just Damruwala. But Damruwala, उनके पास spare पैसा है, तुम्हारे पास है नहीं.
So we'll talk about this in our next video.
Right, we'll do that.
Let's
as
now,
to how it goes.
How it will impact India,
but
and what will be the role of India.
Generally, it is positive for the developing world, for the South, and for
let's now keep it for the international impact only. So we can finally say that internationally, it's beginning of the end of hegemony.
Yeah.
And it's a grouping of civilizations we are talking about, and the new avenues for supply chain which will come into picture now. And BRICS has come out to be as the biggest summit which has brought vibes, or I must say turmoil in the international arena, geopolitically or economically, both.
And very simple on figures. 50% of the population and 40% of the GDP is this 11 only.
Right.
So which means you are not also block. You have muscle.
You have muscle, right?
Yeah, you have muscle.
Right. So probably the world will look for next collaborations like BRICS, as earlier there was EU. BRICS can be the next bigger collaboration the whole world will be looking for. So with that, we end this series